I am Mr.R.Muthu Venkata Krishnan, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research Institute. I am going to explain about topic on groups, changes, conflicts and responsible on principle of management and organization behavior. Next, group. What is meant by group? A group is the largest set of two or more individuals who are joined, characterized by a network of relevant communications. A shared sense of collectivity identify and one or more shared disposition with associated normative strength. What is my group? The terms group refer to two or more individuals who bears an explicit psychological relationship to one another. This is called group. A group, a number of people together at a given place and a given time can be considered as a group. This is called group is a definitions. What are the group norms? The group norms is nothing but group norms are a set of beliefs, feelings and attitude commonly shared by a group members. These are also referred to as rules and standard of behavior that apply to group members. There are norms serve three functions in a group. One is predictive and control and rational. There is a rational. This is nothing but as a predictive, as first norms provided a basis for understanding behavior of others. Second one is a norms regulated the behavior of members. Finally, some norms define the relationship among the roles. This is called group norms. Next, going to topic groups is and what are the types of groups. What is meant by groups? The group already explained. The social entities of two or more peoples who interact with each other or psychologically aware of each other and think of themselves as a group. This is called group. The group is nothing but a term. The number of people together at a given place and given times can be considered as a group. This is called group. There are two types of groups. The one is formal groups and another one is informal groups. What is meant by formal groups? The formal groups are typically set up and sanctioned by the organization and thus have specific objectives and contributes to the achieving organizational goals. This is called formal groups. And another one is the informal groups or groups that form through interactions among the organizational members. This is called informal group. What are the difference between formal groups and informal groups? The formal groups is nothing but a design work group defined by a organization structure with distributed the work, that is assigned the establishment the some task. This is called formal group. The opposite difference is informal group is nothing but is a structures or organization is exactly to determined. Organizationally is exactly to determined. Is called informal group. If the behavior is a formal group is defined, the behavior term members encouraged. The formal group is behavior term members and encouraged. That is, an informal group is different. The environmental appears is a social conduct. This is called informal groups. Is one example for formal groups. Is a formal groups is a 6-line members in the airlines. Air Force. Air Force is the 6-line members on the airlines is example for formal groups. As another one is the example for informal groups. The employer from the different department working. The different department, their lunch and coffee and tea taken. The different department working in a group. This is called informal groups. What is the difference between formal group and the informal groups? Okay, let's go to what is conflicts and the common causes of workplace conflicts. Okay, we define conflicts as a disagreement resulting from individuals or group that different in, that is, opinion, attitudes, beliefs, needs, value, and perception. This is called conflicts. What is conflicts? What are the different group of conflicts? We define the conflict as a disagreement resulting from the individual or group that differ in. This is called conflicts. The different group on individuals, the opinion, attitude, beliefs, needs, values and perception. This is called the conflicts. What are the common causes of the workplace in conflicts? Next going to topic, the common causes of workplace in conflicts. That is lack of communications, feeling of being undervalued, undefined or not clearly defined the roles, poor use of the managerial criticism and the preferential treatment, poor management and leadership, impractical expectations, over workload the employer. Suppose over workload employer means is that one person is certain work, the limited work due the employer, manager into employer, and the stress if the employer is heavy stress, that is the stress, and the internal conflict. These are common causes of workplace in the conflicts. Okay. Next, going to topic the change. What is meant by change? The change is nothing but alternation which occur in the overall work environment of an organization. Alternation which occur in the overall work environment of an organization. This is called the change. Change is nothing but change is the law of nature. Change is the law of nature. Law of nature, the rules and regulation of the government to get permission of the rules and regulation, the law of natures. Nothing is permanent except changes. The change often result from the pressures of the force which are the both outside and inside of the organizations. Change often the result from the pressure of the force which are the both outside and inside of the organizations. Then the whole organization tend to be affected by the change in any part of it. So, and change take place in all part of the organization, but varying rates of speed, degrees of signification. This is called changes. All the types of changes is general. The changes is nothing but the responsible and the people who work harder than before keep the organization, become the slow down and work as hard as before. And what are the types changes? The planned changes, unplanned changes, and incremental changes and the quantum changes. These are the changes. Okay, is next how to implement the changes. The successful implementation of the changes, it is unfreezing, changing and refreezing. This is the implementation of the changes. Next going to be external and internal process and the changes in organizations. Okay, the external forces and the internal forces. The external forces is working in external environment. Internal forces is nothing but the internal environment. These external forces, the macro environment is the first factors. The micro environment, that is consumers, suppliers and the stockholders, and the opportunity are red sweat. This is the external force of the change. The internal force is nothing but internal environment. You can use internal environment use, that is a men, money, machinery, materials and minutes. This is the strength and the weakness of the SWOT. Strength and the weakness of the internal force. Okay, this is the internal and the external force. Okay, then next topic is going to change in the organization. The change in the organization, it is a constant interactional and interdependent relationship with its environment. It is nothing but change in is external environment. You can use only for external environment, such as changes in consumer taste and preference and commutations, economical policies of the government and etc. To make it imperative for an organization to make it change in internal systems. It can change in internal systems. Then it's going to change in the organization composed of a number of subsystems which are also in a dynamic relationship of interaction and the interdependence with one another. So any changes in a subsystem creates a chain of change throughout the entire systems. Okay, The change in organization composed of a number of subsystems which are also in a dynamic relationship of interaction and interdependence with one another. So, any changes in the subsystem creates a chain of change throughput in the entire systems is called change in the organizations. Okay. Next, going to what are the concept of the organization change? What are the concept of the organization changes? The organization changes implies the creations of imbalance in the existing pattern of situations. The operations and for long term establishing structure and setup. Okay, the operations and functions for a long term establishing structures and setup. Okay, then next members evolve a tentative set of relations with the environment, adjustment with the job, working conditions, friends and colleges of the etc. Then another concept of the organization changes. Change requires individual to make new adjustment, hence the fear of adjustment gives rise to the problem of change and resistance to change. This is called concept of the organization changes. Okay, organization changes. The concept of organization changes, the members evolve a tentative set of relation with the environment, adjustment with job, working conditions, friends and the challenges of the etc. This is called concept of the organization changes. Okay, next what are the level of changes? There are divided into 3 level of changes. First level is individual level change, second level group level changes, third level is organization level changes. Okay, then the individual level changes going to job assignment, physical move, change in maturity of person, not significant on organization but significant on the group. Okay, job assignment, okay, the physical move, the change, maturity of the person, not a significant of the organization but signification on the group of employers. This is called individual level changes. The group level changes is only for individual single. If the group level means group of employers will change. There is a major effective because the organizational activities are done in groups like departments or informal groups. Then go to group levels affect the workflow, job design and social organization, influences and status systems and communication patterns, and managers must consider the group factors. Okay, then group levels, the managers must consider group factors. Okay, this is called group level changes. Then going to organization level changes. The organization level changes is nothing but involves major program that affect both individual and group. This is the individual level changes is not significant on the organization but signification on the group is a group is there means it divided into individual level changes. This one group level changes. You have to affect the workflow, job design, social organization and influences and the status subsystem and the communication patterns also the group level changes. This one organization level changes involve the major program that affect both individual and group levels. This combined with individual level and group level is also called organization level changes. The decision regarding these changes are generally made by senior management and are seldom implemented by only a single manager. Okay, the organization level is changed. Both combinations of the individual level changes and group level changes is one. Involve the major program that affect the both individual and group level managers changes. Decisions regarding this change are generally made by senior management and are the seldom implemented by only a single manager. This is called 3 level of changes. Next, what are the types of changes? Okay, the types of changes, they are 4 types of changes. Okay, the general changes, the plan change, unplanned changes, increment changes, and quantum changes. Okay, this is the change. How to implementation of changes? The successfully of the implementation, this unfreezing and changing and refreezing. Okay, this is going to types of change is the strategies change in the mission when acquired. Okay, the strategies change in the mission when acquired. Then structural change, the regeneralization. The structure can be used regeneralization. Generalization structure will change into degeneralization management. Then next going to process oriented changes in manufacturing operations. How to change the manufacturing operations one company, the changes in the process oriented change in manufacturing operation companies. The next going to people oriented change, self actualization, that motivation, loyalty, training and relationship. Look at the people oriented change, the self actualization, motivations, loyalty, training and relationship. These are types of change. Okay, types of change. What are the types of changes? There are 4 types of changes. One is strategy change, structural change, processes change, process oriented change, and the people oriented changes. Okay. Okay, people, what are the people oriented changes? People oriented changes is nothing but the self actualization, that is motivations, loyalty, is the training of the project and relationship. This is called people oriented changes. Okay, and the next, how to resistance to change and change to resistance is nothing but the resistance to change, the resistance to change a natural phenomenon. Not all change in resistance, not on anyone have to change. Okay, not all change in resistant. In organization, changes are accepted then resisted, accepted then resisted, and acceptance to change in adoption, acceptance to change in adoptions. Then going to resistance to change in unnatural behavior, unnatural behavior. Then going to failure to understanding these characteristics of the resistance can cause many managers to attempt to run through changes rather than try to understanding the source of the resistance. Okay, how to change resistant to change? Okay, how to resistant to change? Resistance to change is a natural phenomenon. Not all change is resisted. In organization, change are accepted, then resisted, then acceptance to change in adoptions. Resistance to change is unnatural behavior, and failure to understand these characteristics of the resistance can cause many managers to attempt to run through changes rather than try to understand the source of the resistance. This is called resistance to change. Okay, next, what are the benefits of resistance? What are the benefits of resistance? The benefits of resistance is the contrary to popular opinion. Resistance to change is not bad, it's a good. The resistance can bring some benefits. Okay, resistance can bring some benefits. One, encourage the management to re-examine its change the proposals. First point is going to resistance some benefits is encourage the management to re-examine its change proposals. The next going to identify specific problem areas where change is likely to cause difficulties. Okay, identify specific problem areas where change is likely to cause difficulties. The next third one benefits, the encouraged to do a better job of communicating the change. The resistance also gives management information about the intensity of employee and emotions and issues. This is benefits of resistance. The another benefits of resistance, the encourage the employee to think and talk more about the changes. More about the encourage the employee to think and talk more about changes. These are the benefits of resistancy. Benefits of resistancy. Okay, today topic the benefits of resistancy. Okay, then again is going to listen to groups. Okay, what's the groups? The group is two social entities of two or more people who interact with each other or psychologically aware of each other and think of themselves as a group. Okay, this is nothing but a number of people together at a given place and a given time can be considered as a group. Okay, there are two types of group: formal groups and informal groups. Okay, a formal groups is an example for 6 line members in airlines. The informal group, there are 3 employers from different departments as working. Different informal groups, 3 employers, for example, more than 5 employers, 3 employers, so working from different departments. Is combined with its lunch and coffee time in the meet with the informal groups. Okay, then also what is confidence and the common cause of workplace of conflicts. Conflicts is a group differ opinions, attitudes, and beliefs, and needs, values, and perception. The common cause of workplace conflicts: lack of communication, feeling and being undervalued, and poor management and leadership, and impractical expectation or overworkload employee, and poor use of managerial criticism, and stress, and internal conflict. These are common causes of workplace conflicts. Okay, then change definition. What are the types of changes? This is a definition, just a response. The change is a response. The people work harder than before, quit the organization, and become slow down, and work as hard as before. And types of changes. The change is law of the nature. The government rules and regulations is get the company organization approval. After the general manager and head of the leader, project leader, and the employer to the work. Okay, changes. Changes means there are various types of changes. General changes, the plan changes, unplanned changes, incremental changes, and quantum changes. Okay, how to implement the change? How to implement the change? The successful of the implementation change, unbreezing, changing, and rephrasing of the changes. Okay, then what are the internal and external process? The internal process of change you can use internal environment management. The external management forces can be used external environment. Okay, this is a macro environment, micro environment, and opportunity and threat. The internal force you can use internal environment, that is men, money, machinery, materials, and minutes. Then it's going to strength and the weakness of the internal force. Okay, then it's not go to concept of the organization changes and the level of the organization change. Organization change implies the creation of the imbalance in the existing pattern of the situation. Okay, then level of the changes. There are 3 levels of the changes: the individual level change, and group level change, and organizational level change. Okay, you say organization level changes is nothing but the combinations of individual level change and group level change. That is involve the major program that affect the both individual and group. That's the decision regarding this change are generally made by senior management and are seldom implemented by only a single manager. This is called organization level change. What are the level? 3 level. Individual level is a top level, is a group level is a middle level, is organization level is a lower level. This is the 3 level of management changes. Next type. Already explained the types: the strategic change, the structural change, and the process oriented change, and the people oriented change. Then resistance to change and change to resistance. That is nothing but is a natural phenomena. Not all change is restricted. Not all change restricted. In organization, change are accepted then resistant. Acceptance to change is adoption. This is called resistance to the change. Then what are the benefits? Alright, but benefits is bring us some benefits. Encourage the management to re-examine its change proposals, identify the specific problem areas where change is likely to cause difficulties, and encourage to do the better job and communicating the change. Then it's going to resistance also gives the management information about the intensity of employee and emotions and issues, and encourage the employee to think and talk more about the changes. Okay, what are the benefits of the resistance?